What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about this 420 that I had, and it was with the homie. It was a pretty good time. So I'll start off on the 19th. I'm just going to school normally. I get done with school, and I remember texting Pablo. I was like, "Yo, you wanna hang out like around 12 for 420 to celebrate it then?" Because I was doing something the day after. On 420, and he was like, sure, might as well. And I was like skating, and then came back in, played some games, and probably around 10, I would say around 10, he heads over and climbs through the window, of course, bro. The fucking old style, bro. Gotta sneak in, and we're chilling. I dab him up. I'm like, what's good? He's like, nothing much. And we just got straight to business. I remember we rolled, I think it was a backwood, I think. He rolled one of those. We smoked that, and then he brings out this bag of like, I think it was like purple. It was purple. It was called purple something. But it was some ass, bro. It was like I smoked like 3 bowls of that shit. It did not feel shit. But anyway, he brings out this bag and he's just talking. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, it's not bad. It's all right. And I'm just like, all right, I'll smoke it. I don't care. But I remember I had this table. I had the table with all the stuff on it. I had like 3 bags of Zaw, fucking some some blunt wraps. He always vaped, so he had a vape there. Pretty sure I was vaping at this time, so vape was there too. There were like 2 carts there. It's just like unnecessary, bro. And I remember around 12, I'm like, shit, bro. Just turned 4. It was like just turned 420, and I was just like, we gotta smoke the the mids, like the whole mids throughout the whole night. And I just remember like just like smoking on that shit, taking the first rip of it, and I was like, bro, this can't be that bad. And bro, oh my god, we pack one bowl, we get down one bowl. The one bowl is always so easy, and then I take we pack another bowl with that shit, and I think it was an ounce of it, might have been like a quarter ounce. It was a lot of stuff for like one night. But we're smoking this shit, sending snaps, taking pictures and shit, and we're just watching probably some fucking YouTube, bro. It was just a fun night, just a vibe. I remember still having the LED lights in my room that was all blue and shit. It was fire. And we get onto that, like the third or fourth bowl. We're like slightly like, oh shit, bro. And then we had to move to the newer shit we had, like the better stuff, and like smoke like a fucking joint of that, and then go back, cause the weed was like it was not really doing anything, but it was doing a little bit. But like after the joint, it was just like on fire, bro. But after that, it begins to be like around like 2 a.m. I think, and I'm just like, dude, this is gonna be crazy. And he's just like, bro, I might have to leave soon. I'm like, what you mean? I thought we were gonna spend all night. But spend all night. And he's just like, yeah, but I'm getting way too faded. And I'm just like, I understand, bro. And we, I tell him, all right, but we gotta finish this day. It was like probably an eighth left. Probably an eighth or some more. Like, probably like a quad left. And I was like, all right, we gotta finish this shit. And he was like, okay, bro. And then I load up a few more bong bowls, bong bowls, and then he rips that shit. We smoke like 3 bowls after that. I'm just like, dude. And all in between like the bowls and the joints and the stuff, we're hitting the carts too. So we're just getting like, oh my god, we're getting so baked. I cannot get this high anymore than I already did, bro. Like, it was so fucking crazy. And then I'm pretty sure around 4:20 a.m., honestly, That's when he started to leave, because I remember taking a picture at that time, and I was like smoking at 420 on 420, you know. But I swear to God, I swear. But a few minutes like after that, after smoking that bowl, we got down to the last bowl, and we're like, "Cheers, bro!" And we smoke it, we get it down, and he's just like, "All right, man, time to part ways." You know what I mean? And I'm just like, "Dude, thank you for a good ass night." And I'm just like, he's just like, "Of course." And I dab him up. He climbs down the window and he bikes home, fried as shit. And I just remember, pretty sure, I'm just going to sleep and having the best sleep of my life. Honestly, that was the greatest. That was like the best time with the homie, of course. The homies always make it a good time, of course. Always the homie Papa, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching, of course. Thank you. See ya.